Hello and welcome to Tuesday? Tuesday. It's been an interesting evening. Um, Actually today's been full of adventure. Earlier today, around noon, my mom needed me to drop off a package that came like 9:30ish. We had something delivered with priority shipping from FedEx that got here this morning, and then I needed to shuttle that to her workplace so that she could, fill out paperwork for said thing. And then we went to, I had to send that off. So that was the whole thing. And I thought that would have been the extent of the day, my misadventures. Turns out, things got quite out of hand. Around a little bit after 5, I got a phone call from her saying that for some reason she needs to go to my grandmother's apartment building. Something about the temperature, like thermostat not working. So she gets home and we try and figure this out. We set up a Nest so that we can wirelessly, remotely control the temperature, so that when we're here, like an hour drive away, we're able to change the temperature at will, as opposed to having to drive out and do something so minute. So, after a bit of troubleshooting, we're seeing that it says offline on her phone. We have a internet connected security camera there as well, and we're unable to hit that. But the ISP that we were using at that place starts with an O. Yeah, an ISP that starts with an O in Brooklyn. You can find it. They have an app, so we're able to log into the app, and then it's showing us, like, we're able to reboot the router, but when we do a speed test through the app, it's showing that a download speed of 0. So something's gone awry. We can see in the app that it's connected to whatever devices, like we have the 2 devices that are connected, the Nest and the camera, but other than that we can't do anything. So we call up this ISP. Turns out they terminated the account over 34 cents. And that is a wild statement. Last month we returned the cable box because, nobody's living there. It's no point in having a cable box at that location because it's not in use. The only thing that's really in use is the internet and possibly the phone. Like, phone is not too big of a priority. But it's still there. It has a need be. So, all that happened. We returned the box, and then, sometime in November, they were saying that we didn't return it. Initially, we didn't get a receipt, so went back and got a receipt in November, early November, and then they may have closed the account at that time. The thing is, we didn't request the account to be closed. We just wanted a receipt for the box. We still maintained internet and phone service. I think they may have been under the impression that the account was to be closed. Either way, we were still paying for the account, and we still had an outstanding bill that would to be paid next month. November was already paid. So things got a little weird. So when we finally went to check on the internet today, on the phone, through the app, we're like, hey, we're paying for this, why is it not working? So after an agonizingly long phone call, about 2 hours, of them actually terminating the account, reactivating the account, terminating it again, and reactivating it again, it's been just a mess of mismanagement at that company. All we wanted to do was turn the service back on. Simple as that, right? Accounts closed, reopen, activate service. Took them 2 hours to basically like ruin the account. So fed up. This is like maybe 9:30 ish. My mom was like, "Okay, we're driving over there." So we get in the car. No, it's not. It's not 9:30 ish. It's maybe closer to 9, between 8 and 9, something like that. We get in the car, we drive over there, and we start trying to figure, like, the first thing we do is just change the thermostat. It was set to 72, change it to 78. That's all we did. Next up is just some basic maintenance stuff. We checked mail, and I think we just moved one thing in the apartment. That was it. As we're leaving, like, we're in the car, we're a couple minutes away, we get the phone call from the guy. He's like, "Hey, service is restored." So we're like, cool. We check on the apps, we see that the connection to the camera is live, it's working. We check the thermostat, we see it's working. We're all good there. We get transferred to the phone representative, who needs to reactivate the phone and port the phone number. And that's still a bit funky. We get dial tone now. It's not like this number is no longer in service or it's unreachable or whatever. We have a dial tone, it rings, but it doesn't go to the answering machine, which is fine. Like, it's not a priority. The priority is getting the internet back up and running. So that's all fine and dandy. It's just, we spent essentially 4 to 5 hours driving, like, having to deal with this nonsense, driving an hour in pouring rain and an hour back just to change the thermostat by 6 degrees. So yeah, I have plenty of stories with that ISP and how horrible they are. My favorite is that when we had them before we had the current one we have, which I've never had a problem with. The only problem that I've had with them is when the entire, like, East Coast was shut down because, like, a cable got cut or something in Brooklyn. That was the only time I had a service outage, and again, that was, like, across the eastern seaboard. So, that's understandable. Other than that, I don't think we've had any other issues. Nothing that couldn't be simply solved with, just a quick reboot of the router, modem, whatever. Simple as that. So, the main issue with that other company, I've had so many issues. Like I said before, when we had them, my favorite time is when I bricked their equipment 3 times in a month because it was horrible equipment, and there's so many stories. There's so many stories. But yeah, if you're in the, like, Northeast and there is a ISP that starts with an O, don't get them. It's the worst ISP I have ever had the pleasure of dealing with. Displeasure. That good old ISP that starts with S, that I believe is nationwide, that one's not great either. The one that starts with the V, do that one. That one's a very good one. Might be expensive, but their cell phone, and their everything, it's the best. Literally the best. You cannot beat it because it's just so good. That's it. I was going to talk about something else today, but this took priority, and it's annoying, but it's happened, it's done, everything is fixed now, we're good to go. So hopefully we won't have to deal with this again for ever, and if we do, well, it might be a great time to switch. That's what I'm going to call it for today. Thank you all for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow. And until then, later.